Hello everyone, so my name is Lupo, and as per my friend's request, I'm recording this video for some of you that have missed the webinar that I have done like a few weeks ago, so you can watch relaxed at home with your partners. So this is the video. It's our personal reflection of the journey of our journey in Australia over the past 10 years and how we have built our property portfolio and transition from the yearly renovation to property development. So just before I start, so I will make a disclaimer that this is a video. You don't need to consider as any financial advice. There's no legal, tax, or investment advice. So we are not licensed financial advisors. So please seek independent professional advice before making any financial decision. But this is us. So 10 years ago, on July 5th, we arrived in Australia with 2 kids and 150 kilograms of luggage. We started by renting in Manly and quickly adapted to our new environment. Thank you to previous experience and development, we were able to understand in the short term how the wealth and capital are built in Australia. Although we began our work in Australia as employees, we soon turned our attention to property, how to build equity and long-term financial security in Australia. Natasha and I have been married for 28 years very soon. It will be in a few weeks' time. We have 2 kids. We love traveling, skiing, sailing, and giving back through blood and plasma donation. Our kids have grown up in the environment of learning, building, and exploring. And our son Artyom, he joined me as well in the journey of learning about the construction, but as well we are teaming up for our blood donation, and we're giving back to the community. About my early days, so I was born in Moldova. My father was an engineer and 2 of my uncles are builders. I remember helping them building a house from mud brick for one of my uncles, then helping build another house for ourselves, and then helping do roofing in my cousin's house. And from the early day, I was involved in different type of constructions, and even today, many of my cousins are working in the construction across the globe. But thanks to my dad, he gave me directions to go and study finance. So after school, I was admitted to one of the one of the top universities in Russia, where I studied economics, banking, and finance. I was always keen to learn more, so I got another degree in law, then I get my master in finance, and even after completing my formal education, so when I was working, I was always getting some additional studies in business schools in Spain, Germany, and United States to learn strategies and analysis. I worked in, of course, like what we are doing, we are converting our education to our 9-to-5 job. So I used to work in the Bank of Russia. It's like RBI in Australia, where I was involved in a lot of risk analysis, loan analysis, and also in opening new branches. After that, well, one step back. So after that, I moved to big international companies. So Mars is still, I consider, one of the best business schools in the world, and the Mars is still a family business. And I have learned and implementing using the 5 principle in my day-to-day life. Burger King, we were opening with 30 restaurants in 1.5 years. And I remember during my first day, my director has asked us, when you're opening a restaurant, what is the most important thing that you need to take into consideration? I mean, we've been a bit shy. We didn't know too much about restaurants. And he came to us and said, well, the most important one is location. And then he asked, what is the second most important thing when you're opening a restaurant? And so the second most important thing is location. And then he asked it again, so what is the third most important thing when you need to consider to have good revenue when you're opening a restaurant? And apparently, you can guess it's still location. So this was like I'm actually keeping this in mind when I'm doing my property investment, my property development, because it gave me a lot of knowledge and experience how location is important in having a restaurant or in having a good investment property. When I came to Australia, I've been involved in a lot of projects that are related to logistics, building warehouses, implementing different operation systems, and in e-commerce. And always I was helping big companies to save money or to earn money. So if you think that I have converted my knowledge about finance, about money, about analysis into my day-to-day job, where I was helping others, big companies, to work with those money and to earn money. But despite a fulfilling career, I realized that my day-to-day job wasn't building the long-term capital. That realization led me back to property, starting with simple renovation, where we have started back in Moldova. We have done like a few small renovation, one apartment, the second apartment. Then when I used to work in Mars, we bought our first house. But again, so we started as well also with renovation. So I brought a team of experienced trusted tradespeople from Moldova and Ukraine, people we knew and could rely on the quality of their work. And in that time, I was an architect, I was a designer, I was working with supplying all the materials. And this is how we started our journey in development with a lot of renovation. Then we moved in commercial property, done some renovation in commercial property. Then we built a new house. Again, we brought a team of tradespeople from Moldova that was helping building this house. We've done another. We moved into a 4-bedroom apartment, and again, working with people from Moldova and Ukraine, we were building that apartment. I've done some bigger 4-hectare subdivision, changing the zoning, another 17-hectare subdivision, and those hands-on lessons helped us to build the foundation of our future projects, teaching us how to turn properties into profitable, high-quality homes, and also how to work with different administration, with government officials, with council officials. And this is apparently how for us, not the day-to-day job, but property development has helped us to create wealth. There is probably a similar question when you need to start a property development with a Chinese proverb, when is the best time to plant a tree? So it's for us indeed. So we started to invest in property like 20 years ago by doing like a buy and flip, and this is where not just buy and hold, but buy and flip with doing renovation. After moving to Australia, we have expanded our focus to move from buy and flip into buy and split. And I will provide some additional information, some additional details, how this buy and split is working and how it's creating additional equity and capital by building duplexes. So coming back, this was 9 years ago. So after 1 year in Australia, and by the way, you can see this go-get car. So we used to go in a rental car to do the inspections and sometimes participated in auction. And this was our first house that we have purchased, our first projects. And even it was not probably the best looking house, but we already knew that we're going to transform this house in a beautiful home. And this is why location was important, the opportunity to subdivide was important, and opportunity to make additional capital. So this is a result. In the same location, we built this amazing duplex, we knew the potential of this house. It's going to be tremendous. While usually I'm when I feel like the live webinar, I have all the numbers, I'm sharing the numbers, but in this recording, I'll give just as an example. An example is with cheesecake. So it's simple. When you go into a cafe, you can buy a piece of cake for like nowadays probably $8. Actually, today in Bondi Junction, so like a piece of cake is just $10 already. But what the cafe owners are doing, they will buy from a pastry factory or from manufacturing of those cakes. The full cake will be like around $50-$60. And when they'll sell each, they'll cut in 12 pieces and they'll sell each of them by $8. So they'll make $96. So the cafe will have a profit of $40. So something similar is happening with duplex development, while we are not building like eight apartments, but we are still manufacturing from one in one location. We are producing like two houses, like two even like semi-detached houses, but there's also still like usually like two titles. And this is where we are manufacturing this profit by having one supervision, by doing like working with same suppliers of materials, with better prices when we're doing those construction. And this is where the developers are getting their profit. And this is what we are doing ourselves. So this is our next project. So after selling both those units in Balgowlah, we have purchased this. It was actually an old house in this location, but what was important again, it's South Coogee. Location was important, and was important that we are able to manufacture to create additional piece of cakes in this location. So again, location. This is very important. It's a very nice place, nothing in front of you, like very close to Marobra Beach and to Coogee Beach. And we're building like a really like a stunning houses with high ceiling, with lifts inside, with a lot of lights, with plenty of parking space for the cars. And as well as just like a walking distance from University of New South Wales, and have a lot of other, by the way, like parks and bowling club and tennis courts just around. This is how we'll increase the selling price of this property. Of course, when we are working and when we are doing a lot of researches, and again, based on my previous background, I'm doing a lot of analysis. We're doing market analysis, what is happening in that area, what is the reference prices of similar properties. And this is usually before choosing one location, I'm doing an analysis of probably 50 or 60, maybe sometimes 70 locations before we are coming and before we are deciding to buy a property. So a lot of due diligence is happening behind. We have a proper time management when we have everything organized, and we are managing all the construction steps, starting from demolition, excavation, putting concrete in the basement, partition wall. And by the way, so those are probably like a 1 month old pictures. So currently we have already formwork for the suspended slab. We have tinsel on site, and next week we'll be putting concrete on the suspended slab on the next level. So the process is always moving ahead, and this is how I am controlling all this construction process. I'm very often on site, and this is my son as well that is helping me in those projects. So our next development project is it's Rose Bay. So this is again location. So it's a very nice location, not far from the Harbor Bridge, just probably like from Rose Bay, like 700 meters, like I don't know, 19 minutes walk. And there's also you have the ocean view on Dover Heights on the back. If you walk another 5 to 10 minutes. Again, this is an old house, but when we are choosing this old house, we are looking at the location, and you can see here on the right this is a duplex, this is a duplex. So it means, well, most probably we can build something similar here. And of course, this house was not selling for, it was selling for a long time. And this is where we are buying only what is not selling very fast because probably the price is not right at the time. So we have from in this location we have already launched back in end of December the development application, and we have an approval to build such a nice house duplex as well. And again, because we have a team already of architects and planners that is helping us doing this job. And yeah, very soon we're going to demolish the old house, and we're going to start building probably in 1 month's time. And when we'll create we'll manufacture additional capital, that will create additional growth. I think again, when I'm doing the live webinars, by part of the full numbers, you can see probably the numbers of returns on capital. And if I go like a few stages back, so it's almost everywhere we have like 89% return on capital. We have here in this one we have 96% of return on capital. So it's not like it doesn't matter how much the property cost, but what we're doing is how much equity and capital we really need when we are and what kind of profit we're going to have as a return on capital when we're doing those development projects. Yeah. So regarding our team, so it's a part of me. We have so Natasha is she's a financial controller and a risk manager. So she's checking everything where we're investing our funds, and because in every project we're investing our own money, and we are very careful looking where we put our money. So Artyom, he is studying construction management and helping us on sites, but as well we have a team of architects, project managers, and builders that we are working with them already in several projects. Okay, so again, this is not an advice, but ultimately, as immigrants, we came to Australia, and usually with the first employer is recommending you like a superannuation fund, where employer is every month transferring a part of, or every quarter is transferring a part of your salary into superannuation, and usually you're probably like staying for 10 years, 15 years, maybe with the same fund, and you don't pay too much attention what is happening over there. As again, I have like a financial background, I'm looking into what is happening with mine, and those are just results of the Australian super, and you can see that in last 10 years, and just like for exactly when I came to Australia like 10 years ago, the Australian super is giving sometimes like over 10%, sometimes below 10%, but if you think like an average is just like under 8%. That is probably not the best way to go to retirement for us. So this way, why we decided to create our own SMSF to do control of our retirement, and as well because we're not investing in bitcoins or in shares. We don't know too much about those type of investments. We are investing in what we know. So we're investing in the property development, some things that we understand and we can manage personally. Again, this is our personal decision. Setting up or investing through an SMSF may not be suitable for everyone, and you always should speak with a licensed financial advisor before considering this approach. But for us, this is the way how we want to come to retirement earlier. So I have here like 3 columns, and just want to discuss probably with you or show to you the power of compounding. Again, I learned this like a long time ago, but just to show to see the difference and why we made those decisions for ourselves. So imagine you have your starting point the same. So you have like $100,000 and you keep them on offset account, and you're offsetting now not even 6%. We're probably getting only 579. But just for the simplicity, I'm putting here 6%. So what is happening with $100,000 if you're keeping in your offset account in 1 year, second year, 3 years, and what is happening in 20 years so with those $100,000? Imagine that you're not topping up anything there. Retail super. So again, for what was happening with our retail super, not even 9%, and probably 8%. But this is with the same $100,000. What is going to happen with this type of interest every year? So in 20 years, you're going, or I'm going to get like is 560,000. So what about if I'm doing investment in something else and I'm achieving at least like 20% returns again in capital? And if you remember that in our case we got returns on capital at around 89, 76, 96%, depending on the project. But again, I'm putting like some very pessimistic 20% returns. So the same $100,000, you go year on year, and in 20 years, you can see what I can see what is the difference that we can achieve with just 20%. That is a very big difference between 6, 9, and 20%. This is the power of compounding without even topping up anything. And this is how the wealth actually is creating by, and in our case, in my case, like some of my friends are saying that my risk tolerance is very high. I'm saying, well, it's not like my risk tolerance because I'm doing a lot of like risk analysis. Because we are putting our money in every project, so we are doing a very deep analysis. So it's not about risk tolerance, but it's about risk management, and it's actually about risk prevention. So yeah, this is why we decided for ourselves that we want to do in something different from 2025 and what you're going to do like in next 10 years, in next 20 years. But we imagine that we are not getting only 20 but 25%. So you can see what is the difference in numbers when you're changing the 20 to 25%. But it's getting much bigger or higher returns. And the question is not when I'm starting, you are starting, or someone else is starting the investment or doing something else, making a decision. And the difference between first year and second year is probably not as big. What is important is the difference between the last 2 years. You are comparing the same like the last 2 years, but the difference between year 20 and year 19 is $1.7 million. So it's probably, the question is not when to start, but when to stop, when it's enough for it's enough, and you can go into circumnavigation or you can do nothing. But also, if those returns are getting even higher, 30%, then the time of retirement could be much faster, much earlier. So we don't need to work for such a long period of time when we're doing our developments. Yeah, but then you have put like another number. So imagine if here you have not only 100,000 but 200,000, and the starting point that you can get like a much higher number. That could be like a crazy, but this is what it could be a decision point when we want to stop our work. So what are we doing next? So next we have actually several projects, and those projects are considering as we're doing as a joint venture, where while we are putting our own funds, we have friends and connection funds that are putting money together through a joint venture or unit trust. So everyone involved contributes capital, and we'll share ownership proportionally, and of course we'll have like a profit sharing there. Yeah, those arrangements involve like usually known parties and management under properly legal agreements done by solicitors. So right now we have Huskisson and in Jarvis Bay, So this is a location where we are building, where we put our own SMSF, and where we are building like those two nice houses. And here you again, this it's already it's an open information, where again, in terms of the structure, it's a trust. In unit trust, whoever is coming as a unit holder will have his share based on the units. Total land acquisition of this house in Huskisson, it's around $1.6 million, and you have all the detailing costs here. But ultimately, it's coming to almost like $4 million in the total cost. Selling, we have a good confidence that this project will be sold by $5 million. The estimated profit is it will be $1 million, and you can see that again. But how much total capital do we need for this project? Do we need really like $4 million? No, we don't need $4 million. Altogether, we need to put around $1.2 million, and then we'll borrow money. We'll do this project. We'll return all the costs and all the a project finance costs that we'll return to lenders and or to the banks, and then we'll have still estimated really good project after all the returns. So it is giving a very good return on capital. So again, this is how we are manufacturing another cake, another location where we are going to get the profit from manufacturing profit while we are doing this project. So this is an example of that structure where unit trust is owning that property. And of course, we invested ourselves in this project, and ultimately we'll get $1 million, half, 50% of the units will be for developer, while the developer is responsible for all this, starting from the site, the deal sourcing, and ending with the sales or potentially rental coordination. And another $1 million, 1 million units are going to investors that, again, some friends of ours, they decided to put their money through SMSF or not through SMSF. Everyone is making their own decision how they want to come on board. And they will have ultimately, they will have a profit share from this project after the construction. So not after the construction, after sales. So again, it's estimated $1 million in profit, and this for $1 million of profit, they will have $1 million shares that will get the split of this profit. Timeline. So currently, this project is already. I think we have launched the DA to council in April. So now it's mid-July. So we already got some requests for information from council, and we have provided them the vehicle turning plans, and as well we have done an additional arborist report for this project. So the project is really moving ahead. But this is it's a live project, and still there are some potential units available for someone to come on board if wants to find out more. Another project is in Wollongong, where as well could be done in this case as a joint venture when the property is owned by a company, and again 50% will go as the shares of developer, and could be one party, could be several parties that can come on board, and after the completion each party will have a duplex, and they can decide whatever they want to do. Also, there are a few more potential projects. There is another opportunities that we are taking in consideration right now. If you find as well, if you have a pool of friends, connections to come on board together with us to pull some money together, then could be another $1 million in profit to get those projects built and realized. So Berry. So this is again another open project that we are still having in the consideration if you'll find a pool of friends, connections, investors that will come on board, that we can do it together as a co-ownership. We're going to manage and develop this project. Probably before I will, let me just jump out for a second from this one, just maybe to show you. So this is because I mentioned about Huskisson, about Wollongong. So for every site that we are considering to develop, so we are visiting ourselves not only once. Yes, Natasha and myself, so we went there already like several times. Of course, we are stopping by at Kayama because it's a very nice location. We are stopping at Wollongong and checking what is happening with the house there. But this is those are the pictures from Huskisson, and it's a really amazing location where a lot of retirees are coming from Canberra, from Sydney, going down, and they're having a house, a lot of like a nice restaurants, food. You can see where we are enjoying those foods, and yeah, we're doing our own researches, and during our researches we are speaking with real estate agents. We are analyzing, so we are analyzing what exactly is selling, and it's actually nothing too much available in Huskisson as of today. There's no houses, just few apartments. And when we are coming and we are telling to the real estate agents, what do you think if you're going to build a nice house like this one with lift, with pools, with spa? Do you think that you'll have buyers? Well, definitely you'll have buyers for that one. So it's no doubt that you're going to sell it. But this is like the researches that we are doing while we need to consider this location, it's right or not right. In Wollongong, for example, part of checking the house itself, we also, so I'm going to churches like Macedonian Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox Church, talking with priests just to find out about the community, about the location, who is going to be the potential buyer of the house, looking what is happening around. Just because we are making decisions, because we are investing our own money in those projects ourselves. Again, even berry, so you can see what kind of like nice colors in berry, and berry is another project that we are taking in consideration. It is an old police station, old courthouse, but I will move probably like a few ahead, and I'm not sure if you're not familiar with berry, maybe you should go. It's a very amazing location, very different from Sydney. Yeah, we are doing our own due diligence, own investigation, and perhaps like we're eating, sleeping, smelling everything around those locations before we're deciding that we want to do something. And you can see those are like some kind of like an existing neighbors with nice cars, and we do believe that but when we build something really nice there, then they will be like a good buyers for those properties. Yeah, so it's well, again, when it's the best time to jump in a property development investment? Well, yeah, it was 20 years ago, but when is the second best time? It's definitely not late, and it doesn't matter how much salary, how much, what kind of role do you have. Everyone can start it, and it's not late to start. In Australia, we can achieve like really good results. Yeah. Ultimately, like I'm closing this video right now. If you would like to find out more information about those projects, if you want to maybe, again, I'm not giving any advice, but if you want to find out more what we're doing, how we're doing, and about joint ventures, just feel free to reach out. And yeah, thank you. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend ahead. Bye-bye.